Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Noah here with 910 Softwash. Today's video, I want to be taking care of a little bit of maintenance on the wash trailer. My pressure washer here, Honda GX690, haven't changed the oil or oil filter in it at all last year. So starting the year off fresh, going to be changing the oil filter. I'll be showing you guys the type of oil that it recommends and then the oil that I run, as well as the oil filter that you should be running on it, as well as the oil capacity, how to change it, how to check the levels in it. One other thing I'm going to do too is this is a belt-driven pump. Now I've taken off this top cover here and checked the belts. If you're not checking the belts regularly, they're going to wear because they're rubber and they may start to slap. You'll start to lose pressure and your machine won't run right. So I'm going to pop that cover off, take a look at them. I believe I'm going to need to tighten them up. So I'm going to show you the process of doing that, making sure it's smooth and operating well. So let's hop right into it. All right, so I'm going to walk through this very simply and elementary, just in case you don't know anything about changing the oil or oil filter or anything like that. Let's just walk through it step by step. So up top here, where you have this gray cap, this is where you're going to fill the oil in at once you drain it. So I like to go ahead and take this cap off before I drain it. Down here, the way my machine is plumbed, I have on this left side here, this is my drain line that goes to the pressure washer itself. The right side goes to my pump itself if I want to change the crankcase oil. So that's where that drain line is. And then your oil filter is found over here on the left side of the engine. So what you're going to do to drain it, all you're going to do is you're going to either use 2 wrenches, 2 crescent wrenches, some pliers and channel locks, whatever, and you're going to hold this end here. If this is the way yours is ran, then I just break loose this cap. Once I break loose that cap, the oil starts flowing out. Let it run for about 30 minutes out. That way it's fully drained. Put your cap back on, and it's fully drained. Now to remove this oil filter, usually it's hand tight, but if you haven't changed it in a while, maybe pretty snug. I just get a pair of channel locks, or if you have an oil filter wrench, put it on the end here, break it loose. Got a little Tupperware under there to catch any oil that drips. Once it drips out for about 5 seconds, it's good. And that's how you're going to be able to drain the oil and change the oil filter on this machine. So next, let's step right into the oil and oil filter that Honda recommends that you run. This right here is the OEM oil filter. I bought 5 of these off Amazon. I think it was like 44, 45 bucks. They usually run between 10 and 15 if you buy them individually. So part number is 15400 PLM-AO2. Just get one of these little blue guys, take the other one off. Make sure too, when you're putting a new oil filter on it, that this right here has an O-ring. Take a little bit of your old oil and wipe around the O-ring when you're putting it back on. That way, this O-ring doesn't seal itself to the block after getting hot. Then here's the engine oil, just a standard SAE 10 weight 30 engine oil. This is what I put in it the last time I changed it. And it recommends in the owner's manual about 1.8 quarts is what it takes for this when you're changing the oil filter. I noticed that at 1.8, it's in between the 2 dots on the measuring stick where you can measure the oil level. So I like to put in almost right at 2 quarts. Now the type of oil that I ran this time, again, is the SAE 10W30, but I just got this Valvoline Max Life, and this is full synthetic, just like a car oil, just making for sure it's 10 weight 30. That way, even though this is what it recommends, it's not full synthetic, and I'm in a little bit of a warmer climate, so being full synthetic, having a little bit more additives should hopefully allow this to run a little bit longer between oil changes as well as give it more life. All right, so I know I mentioned breaking these loose. What I also do is I just have this little expandable funnel that I just throw on the end of it, let it drain right into my drain pan, and then when I'm finished, I'll put the cap back on it here, and then once I fill it with oil, what I'll do is whatever's in my drain pan, I'll put back in the old oil containers. That way I have somewhere to keep them. Just rinse out your pan. And then I've got another little funnel. Just pop right in here, fill it with your oil, and then throw your cap back on, and your oil change and oil filter change is good to go. Now, what I like to do after changing the oil is not going ahead and starting it right up. It's just taking the key, don't pull your choke if you haven't turned on in a while, and just turn it over. As you're turning it over, it's going to pump through that oil, through the oil filter. You want to fill up the oil filter, get it into all the cavities and everything inside the engine before you fully start it. Do that for about 5-10 seconds, then you're good. Start it up and just let it run at idle. Give it maybe a couple minutes to get nice and warm, then you can elevate the RPM up on it, go full RPM on it, let it run for another minute or two, you can turn it back down, turn it off, and that's when you'll check your oil. So let me show you how to check the oil level in it. All right, so here's your oil level dipstick that you'll be checking the engine oil level on it. after you fill it. So what I like to do too is I like to make for sure that the engine, I had a level on it before, but maybe if you have a little torpedo level, put up here to make sure your engine is level when you're checking the oil. It's not tilted one way or another, causing you to have a misread on how much oil you have in it. So let me see if I can do this without it going everywhere. So as you can see here, usually I would wipe it, but it's kind of a mess. You have those two dots. The lower dot is the minimum you want it to be at. The top dot is the max you want it to be at. When I put 1.8 quarts in it like it recommended, I was really right in between both of the dots. I like it to be on the higher side. So as you can see here, I'm right there under that top dot. So that's exactly where you want to be. And all you do is you just feed this right back down into there, twist, and it just snaps right in. It doesn't twist or lock or anything. It just has got these two little seals on it that keep it in place from coming in and out. And all you have to do is, if it's a little bit low, when you check it, is just put your funnel back in where the fill's at and just fill it up with, you know, a couple more ounces of oil, and then check it again and keep checking until you get it right where you want it to be. So now let me take off this back belt cover. I can show you how that works, what the belts look like, and how to adjust it. All right, so we have this cover here the way mine is. All it has is this one Phillips screw. So I'm going to pop that Phillips screw out, and then once you pop that Phillips screw out, this piece right here comes right off. All right, so I've already pulled it up and off, and as you can see here, that cover just comes right off. Put that right there. And this is the way my machine is set up. So it's got 4 belts. I think some may have like one wide belt. This has got 4 individual belts here. So now what you'll notice is I've already tightened and adjusted this yesterday, but as you can see, as I'm pressing into it and giving it, and you know, pressing in pretty firm, it's not really budging a lot. Before, it was moving quite a good distance. So if you notice that this right here is budging a lot, you want to adjust it, or start up your machine, turn up to max RPM, and have your gun hooked up and spraying. And if while you're spraying, the belt is, you can see it waving and flapping up and down, you know you need to tighten it. So let me show you how to tighten it. So the pump itself is mounted to this plate with 4 bolts. 4 bolts that have got lock nuts on it. What you're going to do is you're just going to loosen up the all these 4 lock nuts just to where it's got, you know, enough clearance between the washer and the bottom of the nut. That way the pump can move. Now the way that mine, the pump adjusts for me is I've got this bolt here, and as you can see here, it's a long rod that's connected to some sort of little plate. And what it'll do is, as you turn this clockwise, what it's doing is, since it's connected to this bracket, it will pull the pump this way away from the engine, and in turn it'll tighten, or you're able to tighten your belts. Now, if you don't have the same setup here, the only other way I could consider doing it would be to loosen these up quite a bit, the lock nuts, and then put a piece of wood over here and maybe a pry bar and pry away from the engine the pump itself, then have somebody to help you where they can tighten up the nuts when you get the belts as tight as you want them to be. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start it up, and I'm going to let it run for a little bit, and I'm going to turn it up to max RPM, and then what I'll show you is I'll have it running before pulling the trigger, and then I'll pull the trigger, and you can see the way the belt will look, and you can see that it's not slapping or moving around a lot, and that's the way I like mine to be set up. Well, that's all there is to it. That's how I change the oil and oil filter for my Honda GX690 pressure washer, and how I adjust the tension within the belt. Thanks you guys for watching in on this video. If you have any questions relating to this oil change itself, the oil filter, belt tension, anything else about the wash rig, my business, the setup, anything, please leave it in the comments below. I love being able to speak with you guys. Hop on some calls if you have any questions, and love to help out any way that I can. I know it's the beginning of the year, a little bit of a warm front here in North Carolina. It's going to be getting back cold, but super excited for what the Lord's been doing through the business. Excited for this new 2026 year. So as always, you guys, keep on washing.